All right, shalom, shalom. This is the brother Shakar here with another lesson through the power and spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai Ba'Hashem Rakak Quadash, and double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of the great millstone from which I learned this truth. Peace and blessings to the house of David, doing his work with all righteousness, truth, and sincerity. And I want to say shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom. All right, let me start here in the book of Zechariah, chapter 8. And let's go to verse 6. And I'm going to go ahead and read it in the NLT. And it says, "This is what the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai of heaven's army says. All this may seem impossible to you now, a small remnant, of the Most High's people. But is it impossible for me, said the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai of heaven's armies?" Yeah, because the Lord, he's going to save, a remnant. You see, it may seem impossible because we're in a big mess. It seems like we're against, all odds. But when you have faith in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, you have that understanding, yes, he's going to deliver, ultimately all Israel, but his elect, on this side, that very small number, that remnant. Matter of fact, let me get this real quick. Let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 1, and verse 9. And it says, "See, except the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant, we should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah." See what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah? It was destroyed, man. See, if the Lord didn't leave a very small number, a very small, remnant, we would be destroyed as a people. Again, but through the mercy of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, he's going to deliver an elect. So let me go back. This is Zechariah 8 and verse 7. Now it says, "This is what the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai of heaven's army says. You can be sure that I will rescue, listen, my people from the east, and from the west." Matter of fact, it makes me think of a precept. That's, what is that? Isaiah 42. Let me see. Might be up a little bit. Let me see. Is it 42? Slovakia. Might be 43. Yeah, Isaiah chapter 43. Let me go ahead and highlight this. I'm doing this on a different phone, so I don't have anything highlighted. Let me see. Yep, this is Isaiah chapter 43 and verse 5. It says, "Fear not, for I am with thee." It says, "I will bring thy seed, listen, from the east, and gather thee from the west. I will say to the north, give up, and to the south, keep not back. Bring my sons from far, and my daughters from the ends, of the earth." And where's the ends of the earth? Right here in so-called America. You see, but we know the Lord's also going to gather his elect from the four winds. Matter of fact, let me get that. So the Lord he's faithful. He's faithful, and he's going to gather, his people. This is, you see here, Matthew chapter 24 and verse, let's go right to the point. Let me read verse 30 and 31. It says, this is Matthew chapter 24, verse 30. It says, "And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn." Why? Because the Lord's coming, with that wrath. He's going to come to do two things. He's going to come and bring destruction, to the wicked. The wicked of the earth, Esau, the Edomites, the nations, and then 2/3, man. But then also he's going to gather, his people, the elect. 2/3 gonna perish, and 1/3 is gonna make it right here in so-called America, because this is where the judgment, will take place, the second death. Again, it says, and then shall appear the sight of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. So he's going to come in the chariot. Okay, that fathership. Okay, right along as it tells you in Revelation, okay, the 19th chapter, he's going to come with the host of heaven. So Yahushua is going to be, okay, riding upon that fathership. Okay, then you're going to have the angels, okay, and those other ships, the smaller so-called, okay, UFOs. It says, listen, and he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together, listen, his elect from the four winds and from one end of heaven, see, to the other. So you're going to have elect, okay, from the whole wide world, man. But the chief place of deliverance is going to be right here in so-called America. Let me grab this real quick. Actually, you know what? Let me finish here. I think I got one more verse. Yep. Zechariah 8, verse 8. It says, I will bring them home again, listen, to live safely in Jerusalem. It says, they will be my people, and I will be faithful, and just toward them, see, as their power. You see? And that's going to be what? Having everything in its proper order. Okay? A place of righteousness. You see? A place of justice. You see, because right here in so-called America and throughout the four corners of the earth, there's no justice right now. Hey, this place is upside down. It's backwards. You see, but there's going to be what? A pure righteousness. Again, everything's going to be turned, okay, right side up, man. And it's going to be what? A safe place, okay, for the Lord's people, man. Okay, we're going to get those new bodies, Lord willing. Okay, we make it in that first go round during the time of the first resurrection. Okay, and then we're going to have what? The law, statutes, commandments, and our inward parts. Okay, not being able to sin anymore. Okay, no more death. Because the scripture tells us what? The wages of sin is death. So no more sin, no more death, man. Okay, everything's going to be what? In its proper order. Let me go to the book of Romans. This is Romans chapter 11. Actually, you know what? Let me get it in the other app. Romans chapter 11, and let's start off in verse 5. And it says, even so then, at this present time, also there is a remnant, listen, according to the election of grace. So grace is what? The Lord's what? Unmerited favor, man. Okay, we don't deserve it. Scripture says that we all deserve punishment. You see? But again, through the Lord's mercy, okay, there's an election according to the grace, man. To the grace of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. It says, and if by grace, then it is no more of works. Otherwise, grace is no more grace. But if it be of works, then it is no more grace. Otherwise, work, see, is no more work. So there's no way we can do it, okay, through our own hands, man. No, this is all a gift from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. You see, we can't work for it, although we do show our faith through our works. No, this is all just an election, okay, that the Lord has chosen, man, from the very beginning. Listen, what then? Israel had not obtained that which he seeketh for. And what's our people looking for? Looking for the truth, man. Okay, they're looking for something because it's already embedded in them, man. You see, but again, the majority of our people, okay, they don't have the correct doctrine. Okay, that's why they're following all these false leaders, whether it be Christianity, Catholicism. Okay, they're following Buddha, Allah, whatever. It's all falsehoods. You see, and then you even got those that know they're Israel, but yet they're following what? The false leadership, okay, of the circumcision. Okay, that's why there's a correct doctrine, and the rest are incorrect. You see, again, it says, "What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it." See, and the rest were blinded. And the reason why they're in the mess they're in, okay, following falsehoods, is because they've been blinded, man. Okay, they cannot receive the 100% truth. It's not for them. Listen, according as it is written, the Most High have given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear. See, unto this day, even unto this day. Okay, you got a lot of our people walking around like zombies, man. See, they're not going to get it again because it's not for them. And David saith, "Let their table be made a snare, and a trap, and a stumbling block, and a recompense see unto them." Why? Because the table represents the scriptures. Again, they can't understand it. That's why they're not calling upon the proper names. Okay, that's why they don't have the correct understanding of what the mark of the beast is. You see? And there's all kinds of things, okay, that they're off on. You see that they're not following the correct leadership. Okay, that's why, again, they're walking around, see, as zombies. Listen, it says, "Let their eyes be darkened, that they may not see, and bow down their back always." So King David, he put a curse, okay, upon 2/3. Why? Because again, hey, their minds are not right, man. You see, right now in this time, the Lord, He's only looking, okay, for His election. Okay, they've been blinded, man. Matter of fact, let me get this in Matthew chapter 13 and verse 10. And it says, "And the disciples came and said unto him, Why speakest thou unto them in parables?" Now, in this time, we're speaking plainly, okay, the correct doctrine, okay, those that are teaching, okay, the proper word, okay, but to them it's like a parable, okay, they can't understand it, okay, that's why they can't understand, who the Gentiles are in the so-called New Testament, okay, they think that's speaking about anybody and everybody, they don't have the proper understanding, okay, of why Israelites became Gentiles. You see, that's a big stumbling block unto them. That's why, again, they can't get it. It says, "He answered and said unto them, Because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven." It says, "But to them it is not given." See, it wasn't given to them. Scripture says that a man can only receive what is given him from heaven. You see, John 3 and 27. Okay, they just don't have the spirit, man. Okay, they have the spirit of error. Okay, they don't have the spirit of truth. Listen, "For whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever hath not, from him shall be taken away even that he hath." Because you have those that they come into this knowledge, okay, but then they fall out, okay, for whatever reason. Okay, it could be a woman, it could be money, fame, glory, okay, whatever. Okay, Satan comes along and he takes it from them, man. He snatches it, this truth from them because of why? Because of the things of the world, man. You see, their mindset has never really been towards the truth. Their mindset is still what in the things that this world offers. You see, which is nothing. Listen, "Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they see not." It's like, because they see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. See, and them is fulfilled the prophecy in Isaiah, which saith, "By hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see, and shall not perceive." It says, "For this people's heart," meaning their minds, "is waxed gross, and their ears are full of slakia, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, see, and should be converted, see, and I should heal them." Because again, the Lord doesn't want everybody. That's why they remain, okay, in that zombie, okay, mindset. It says, "But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear." So there's a difference, okay, between the election and those of the non-elect. Matter of fact, let's go to Mark. Let's go to the book of Mark, chapter 4, and let's go to verse 9. And it says, "And he said unto them, He that have ears to hear, let him hear." It says, "And when he was alone," it says, "they were about," it says, it's like it says, "And when he was alone, they that were about him with the 12 asked him of the parable." It says, "He said unto them, Unto you it is given, listen, to know the mystery of the kingdom of the Most High, but unto them, see, that are without, all these things are done in parables." Because they don't have the eyes to see and the ears to hear, man. It said the Lord has made even both. Matter of fact, let me stay there. Let me grab it. Proverbs chapter 20 in verse 12, I believe. Yeah, it says, the hearing ear and the seeing eye, the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yoshai have made even both of them. You see, they're gifts. Let me read it in the NLT. It says, ears to hear and eyes to see, both are gifts. See, from the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Yeah, your little ears that you listen with, okay, and your little eyes that you see with, of course. But we're talking about spiritual eyes and spiritual ears. Not everybody has them. You see, those are gifts from the Lord, man. So let me go back to Mark, and I'll read verse 11 again. It says, and he said unto them, unto you it is given to know the mystery, see, of the kingdom of the Most High. But unto them that are without, all these things are done in parables. It says that seeing, it says they may see and not perceive. It says in hearing, they may hear and not understand. Listen, lest at any time they should be converted, and their sins shall be forgiven them. You see, but again, the Lord doesn't want everybody's sins forgiven, because 2/3, okay, amen, that's part of the Lord's story. Okay, two-thirds will not make it. Okay, there's only going to be an election. Okay, that's what the Lord's looking for. Okay, the elect of the nation of Israel. Let me grab this in Isaiah. This is Isaiah chapter 6, and we'll start off in verse 8. It says, also I heard the voice of the Lord saying, whom shall I send? And who shall go? And who will go? It says, and who will go for us? Then said I, here am I, send me. And he said, go and tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, see but perceive not. It says, make the heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand, see with their heart, meaning the mind, and convert and be healed. You see, so if they truly understood, okay, then they would come back to their heritage. You see, they will keep the law, statutes, the commandments to the best of their ability. Okay, they will call upon the proper names. See, they would have the proper understanding of what that mark of the beast, okay, truly is. But again, you got so many that they're not getting it, man. Okay, they're wrong. Okay, whether it's those that are in these so-called religions, or those that, okay, that are part of the circumcision, but they're not right, man. You see, their doctrine is incorrect. It says, then said I, Lord, how long? So how long are they going to stay in this mindset? And he answered, until the cities be wasted, see, without inhabitant, and the houses without man, and the land be utterly desolate. So basically, they're not going to make it, man. You see, they're gonna have to what? Know the truth by death, by pain. You see, they're gonna be destroyed on this side. Why? Because they're not part, okay, of the election. Let me get one more. Let me go to Romans. Let me get this in the NLT. Then I'll close out with this. Romans chapter 9, and let's go down to verse 27. And it says, and concerning Israel, Isaiah the prophet cried out, though the people of Israel, see, are as numerous as the sand of the seashore, only a remnant will be saved. So that's why it says that only a remnant, okay, will return. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and get it. Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 20. And it says, and it shall come to pass, see, in that day, let me go ahead and highlight these, Salakia. It says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon them that smote them. Now who smote? Okay, Jacob. Okay, the Israelites, all the nations, they're all guilty. Okay, but that chief enemy, that's the Edomites. Okay, Esau, the so-called white man. It says, again, and it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon, it says, him that smote them, but shall stay upon the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yoshai, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. So those that know the correct doctrine, Because they're not going to lean upon this devil for any type of a spiritual, knowledge. No, they're going to lean upon the Lord, man. That they're going to come to that understanding, what the truth really is. Because they're going to be able to discern, the righteous, from the wicked. It says the remnant, shall return, even the remnant of Jacob, see, unto the mighty power. That remnant being what? A very small number. It says, for though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The consumption decreed shall overflow with righteousness. That consumption is what? That destruction. It's going to be a righteous thing when the Lord brings it. Listen, for the Lord power, of hosts shall make a consumption, even determined in the midst, of all the land. So it's already determined by the Lord, man. He's going to do it. Nothing's going to change. 2/3 from falling, man. 2/3 from perishing. Because again, the Lord's only looking for a very small number. That remnant. Let's go back to Romans 9 verse 29. So 9 verse 27 again. It says, in concerning Israel, Isaiah the prophet cried out. It says, though the people Israel are as numerous as the sand of the seashore, only a remnant, will be saved. It says, for the Lord Yahweh Shimei Shai will carry out his sentence, upon the earth quickly, and with finality. That's that destruction. Now, again, is the whole earth going to be destroyed? No. There's going to be portions of the earth. But we can also call America, it's got to be destroyed, man. This is going to be the place of the second death. Listen, and Isaiah said the same thing in another place. If the Lord Yahweh Shimei Shai of heaven's army had not spared a few of our children, so we would have been wiped out like Sodom and destroyed like Gomorrah. We read it. Isaiah 1 and 9. The Lord left a very small remnant. See, and even those that know they're Israel, they're not all part of the election, man. Because let me grab this real quick. I said that was going to be the last one, but let me grab this. Let's go to 2nd Esdras, chapter 8, and let's go to verse 41. It says, for the husbandman soweth much seed upon the ground, and planteth many trees, and yet the thing that is sown good in the season cometh not up. It says, neither doth all that is planted take root. It says, even so it is of them that are sown in the world. That's speaking about the Israelites, man. It says, they shall not all be saved. Just because they're Israel doesn't mean they're going to make it. Just because they know they're Israel doesn't mean they're going to make it. Again, the Lord's only looking for that very small number. That remnant. Matter of fact, let's jump to the next chapter. 2nd Esdras 9 and 15. It says, I have said before, and now do speak, and will speak it also hereafter, that there be many more of them which perish. 2/3 is a bigger number, than 1/3. It says, again, that there be many more of them which perish than of them which shall be saved. So again, 2/3 is a bigger number. It says, listen, and he gives you the ratio. It says, like as a wave is greater, than a drop. That's how many, won't make it, man. There's going to be a difference between the election and those of the non-election. Matter of fact, let me see. Yeah. Verse 20. 2nd Esdras 9, verse 20. It says, so I considered the world, and behold, there was peril because of the devices that were come, into it. And I saw and spared it greatly, and have kept me a grape of the cluster, and a plant, of a great people. So that's the election, man. You see, the Lord has preserved for himself, a very small number, a cluster, of the plant, man. See, a great people. Those great people is speaking about the election, whoever they may be. It says, let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain. They were born for nothing, man. Just to what? Eat, drink, and be merry. It says, and let my grape be kept. Listen, and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect. You see? So the Lord's bringing his election to perfection. Through the purification, man, through the word. You see, being washed, through this wisdom, this knowledge. You see? So with that, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I'm going to close out and give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kodash, and double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of the great millstone from which I learned the truth. Peace and blessings to the house of David doing this work with all righteousness, truth, sincerity. And I want to say shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.